Hey LeGrandeLive.tv, this is your weekly news-ish roundup, brought to you by Grande Hospital and anythingtodigital.com. Alright, so there's going to be a contemporary art show here in LeGrande. 3 Portland and Eugene artists are grabbing up their artwork, girding up their loins, and hop-skipping over here to Little Town LeGrande to show off some of their contemporary art to us uncultured swine. Just kidding, sort of. The 3 artists are Ryan Woodring, Julia Calabrese, and Emily Bernstein, and their artwork ranges from subject serious to comedic. But you're probably asking, why the heck should I go see a contemporary art show? When I think of contemporary art, I think of weird ink prints and cardboard cutouts pasted randomly on a canvas, or some dude in spandex throwing paint on the wall. Why should I go to something like this? Well, to be blunt, it's an opportunity for you to see and experience something new. I had a chat about contemporary art with Mika Morton, the executive director of Arts East, and it isn't just a dude throwing paint on the wall to express his anger. Contemporary art is actually about social issues, not just some artist whining about how he feels. It's about people, places, conflict, real issues affecting the world today. It's totally relevant. Also, Darcy Dolge, who's the art director of Arts East, says it's a family-friendly show, so all the kids can come along too. The show's reception will be tomorrow, July 22nd at 6 p.m. at the Liberty Theater downtown in LeGrande. Then the reception will move at 7 p.m. to the second venue, the Arts Center East at the old library, where it will continue. The show will then remain open until September 18th to peruse and scratch your head looking at the funky and fantastic canvases. For more information on the art show and the artist's particular takes on things, check out this week's Go magazine. They had a full spread, including interviews with the artists and a lot more. So, to be honest, I started up this Pokemon story a little differently. I started out with a few less than kind remarks about Pokemon Go and the players of it. Think jokes about the lack of culture in Poke players and, well, Pokeballs. Lots of jokes about Pokeballs. Lots of hoity-toity and otherwise condescending jokes which, to be honest, if you're honest with yourselves, many of you non-players have probably thought once or twice yourselves, seeing the players walking around downtown LeGrande. Now, personally, I'm an avid outdoorsman and, ironically, hater of all things escapist. I find myself being less than generous toward this nerdgasm Poke fad that is sweeping the nation, including the small towns here in the valley. Granted, I have softened from my night one near rage of the massive game. The game that steals my friends' attentions at group dinners, causes strange night wanderings, random outbursts of euphoria in the middle of large fields, and strange darkening of the otherwise moon-pale skin of players worldwide. And yes, I realize that the game is actually very beneficial for many who are playing it. People who would otherwise be inside all day watching me on their phones or playing Counter-Strike into the wee hours of morning are actually giving their calves the first exercise they've gotten since they ran out of Mountain Dew 3 years ago. People are meeting people they otherwise never would have. People are getting tanner, learning more about local landmarks, and being forced to navigate the seemingly inscrutable maze of streets and alleyways that is the LeGrande Google Maps grid. Honestly, I get it. The game isn't that different than geocaching. It's getting people out and about who wouldn't have been. It's helping people to connect and have fun, and honestly, I myself have contemplated starting it just for this last reason. It's given people a single, small pixel of joy in a world full of school and bar shootings, lesser of two evil presidential nominations, and 100 other tragedies flooding their Facebook feeds and popular news channels. Seriously, I get it. It's not that much different than some fantasy or science fiction book, just with a few less words and a bit more bit depth. Us old fogies with the spirit of the pre-electronic age will just have to get over our cranky selves and realize that honestly these games are the way of the future, and it's human beings exactly like us that are playing them. Human beings with hearts exactly like ours. There were those who hated writing when it came out too, like thousands of years ago. But all I can ask is this, Poke players. On your random wanderings in search for reclusive Geodudes and Jigglypuffs, Electrodes and Abracadabras, Pikachus and Leafosaurs, look up, just for a moment. There's a whole world without the small animated creatures that is, well, real. And it's very, very magical. There are real people wandering around trying to succeed at, well, life. There are real gyms where you can train and practice your art and test your skill. There's even real Rattatas and Charizards, real Magikarp and Pidgeys, granted with a little different names like skunks, deer, bears, and wild foxes. You can't catch them or battle them, you may not be able to pet them, but if you pay attention and look around, maybe, just maybe, you'll find yourself in a real live Pokemon encounter that you can tell your friends about. And I can guarantee you, it's a lot better than anything you'll ever get on your phone. Oh, and by the way, look up when you cross Adams Avenue and don't play when you drive. There have been accidents. All right, now that I'm off my soapbox, what's happening this week? Well, tonight, Thursday, there's live music at 10 Depot Street. Also, board game nerds awake. There is a game night at the Hobby Habit this Saturday at 5 o'clock p.m. The LHS class of 1964 will meet for lunch on Saturday at noon at the Flying J. There are free computer program classes at the Training and Employment Consortium here in Grande. Some of the classes include QuickBooks and Excel. If you're interested, call Glenna at the consortium to register. Also, next week, First Baptist Church is hosting a vacation Bible school. If you're interested, sign up at their office or online at their website. In sports, the 15U All-Stars trashed St. Helens 15-3 in their first game of the Junior State Baseball Tournament in Salem. They followed this with a win 10-2 against Beaverton and another win against South Central 16-1. They are now in the championship round and will play the winner of the South Central and Beaverton match tonight, Thursday, for the championship seat. Also, the LeGrand 12U club team is going strong at their tournament, beating Murray Hill 16-2 Tuesday. Their next game will be against Klamath Falls, who beat them earlier in the tournament 15-7. But seriously, life isn't just about baseball. There's also archery and running too. The Elkhorn Relay is coming up. The Elkhorn Relay is a 200-mile team run through northeast Oregon that travels down from Hillgard, through the valley to Anthony Lakes, all the way to Baker, Somerville, then finally down to the quiet trickle of the Grande Ronde River at Riverside Park. And they're ready for year 2. The race will be on August 12th through 13th. The race will run 2 days and complete with a bonanza at Riverside. The cost is $1,400 total, which is, well, a lot, but broken down between all the members of the team, it's not quite as daunting. And most of the money goes to charities. If you're interested in getting a team together, visit doomsdayracing.com. And archery too. If you like to strap up the bow and watch the arrow zing by your cheek and thunk into the target, head up to Mount Emily Recreation this Saturday and Sunday for the Oregon Bow Hunters 3D State Shoot. There's going to be about 80 archers at the range up there for the 2-day competition. And last, the LHS football team is gearing up for their upcoming season. And in line with that, LeGrand Alive will be live streaming all the football games, and we're looking for sponsors. We have to pay all of our people to travel to the games, film them, broadcast them, and bring them home. So, if you or your business is interested in seeing the LeGrand High School football team online for people to watch, get in contact with us. It's a great service, and parents and extended family get to watch their LHS football team from the comfort of their own home, wherever that may be. Also, for more information on these and more news stories, check out The Observer every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. They do such a great job and have so much more in-depth coverage than we do and can about any of these blurbs and stories. Plus, you may learn a new word or two in the process, unlike here, where we're just a bunch of computer-drooling troglodytes. And now, we have a little explaining to do. Some of you may have noted that as of this week, our show is now called the News-ish Roundup. No, you're not crazy. No, I didn't make a typo. The reason for the name change is this. We're not doing news. Hard news, that is. When you think of hard news, what do you think of? I think of big open office spaces. I think of hard-tacked news reporters who hit the ground with recorders and yellow notepads. When I think of hard news, I think of hard facts, quippy one-liners, raw and bare-bone stories with inverse triangle formulas and a lot more editors than we have here. What we're doing isn't that. We're doing community interest. We're having fun. We laugh, we do little gags at the beginning of some of our roundups, I rant a little bit. We use words like troglodyte, and I make fun of viewers sometimes. Yes, we have facts. Yes, we have editors, and my desk is covered with post-it notes from doing research and making phone calls. But we're not doing hard news. So, hence the name change. We're not doing news, we're doing news-ish, the News-ish Roundup. Also, a big thanks to Blake Bars at Nature's Pantry for coming up with the name. He came up with it because he's funny like that. And so, with that, this has been your weekly news-ish roundup, brought to you by Grande Hospital and anythingtodigital.com. Be sure to tune in later on this week and early next week for more local content and another roundup. I'm Will Bowman.